Barrage in the bag, semi-finals ahead. Let's talk top 14, which is still going on. I don't know if we're ever going to solve this global calendar situation. I know the top 14 is actually going to move itself back a bit to accommodate the World Club Championship. But these are the money matches, Joe. Let's firstly talk about the barrage games that we saw. Not a lot of rugby played in Bayonne.
No, again, like when we went to San Sebastian, comme le vache qui pisse, which is it was raining like a pissing cow. So that does hinder how much rugby you can play, especially a team like Bayonne. I mean, Camille Lopez has only got half an hour in his legs now. So he came on, and as soon as he's on, they look more dangerous and more effective. So he's such a big influence on that team, and the more he's involved in the semi-final, the better for them, I think.
Yeah, they're going to the champions Toulouse. It's going to be neutral venue, so not at home, but they've got to take on the might of Toulouse. And yeah, I thought exactly the same thing. Cami Lopez, I mean, he looks like a guy who's been retired a couple of years by this point, not a guy that's about to retire, but he's still got it. That left peg for the try from spring, just a moment of magic that they're going to need every single bit of.
He was doing that before it was cool. He's been doing that for 15 years, I think. I remember him doing it at Bordeaux. We beat Toulon 42-0. They were fully loaded as well at Chaban. We'd just come up the year before. It was an incredible kind of result. I remember Cammy doing 2 pinpoint kicks like that into the winger's hands to score. Yeah, it was an incredible day, and he's still an incredible player. He's a few stone heavier, but honestly, there's a picture of when he arrived at UBB, and he's gone full circle from the fat prop-like mess that arrived, losing weight, becoming an international fly half, and now he's back to being a bit overweight.
Yeah, but were you a bit disappointed with Clermont? I know as you already said, the conditions dictated how the game was going to go, but they just seemed to only try and kick and pressure for territory, and they've been so good in recent weeks when they've thrown a few shots.
Yeah, I thought that would suit them more than having a situation where it was bright and sunny, and Bayonne are a team who can accelerate and score a lot of points. So I thought it'd be suit Clermont because they are a controlling, physical, organised team. But really, they were never at the races. That was the game I thought would be closer than the other one, and really they just weren't there. It looked like Bayonne was going to be putting that one to bed pretty early. So they weren't in the battle. They weren't up for it. It was a bit strange, really, because that's worrying. Like, you must worry. The coaches must worry in that situation. But have I motivate my team right to fight for this? We played all season. They played well recently, and then they just turn up and leave a lot in the change room. It was a bit strange.
You've spoken before about your knockout rugby, your finals, and how you had a bad first experience, and then with Wasps went on and won the next 9 finals. But we saw it with the Bulls as well in the URC final at the weekend, where they just did not turn up. We saw it with Clermont, where it was just a weird performance from them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Can you?
I've been part of a semi-final defeat that we didn't turn up there. Can be a number of reasons. Out of practice, Leinster, Northampton as well. Not in the groove. Out of practice, not played enough. Mentally weak. And the moment dominates your thinking, and you stop being able to live in the moment. That's the big one. I mean, it's normally mental issues with Clermont, with that team. So when I say the weather would have suited them, normally they got a good kicking game. That, for example, wasn't great. So the territory wasn't what it is normally, and they're normally a team who could keep Bayonne in the right parts of the pitch, and from that position they'll be pressuring them, trying to steal, dominate tackles, create turnovers, smash their way into the 22, use their physicality to maul it over or to physically just carry the ball over the line. So they're that kind of team. And if mentally you're not quite there, because you're pissed off with the coach, because the pressure of the situation's got to you, but it's certainly not because they're out of practice, because they've been playing in the weeks preceding that, then if that other thing's creeping into your mind, this is where you stop being as good at dominating the tackles. You stop acting as quickly as you should do, and it looks like with Clermont that's what happened.
As for the other semi-final, we'll come to the semi-final in a minute. As for the other barrage match, Castres hung in for a bit, but then just got blown away.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be sleeping well this week because they fought. They fought for the game, and they put some shots out there and went for it, and they stuck in there. They got such good spirit at that club. It's part of their DNA. But the Toulon team is capable with the wingers. We could just take those two, for example. There's a great kick from Cast, a good chase behind it, but there was 30 metres of space on the edge of the chase. And Wainakono, he should never have been able to get there. He's probably one of the few players who would have been able to get there in World Rugby. Because he's so fast, he just ran sideways like a kid in mini rugby, running at that space in the wide channel, and he just jetted out there, got into the space, made an offload, penalty, and bam. Toulon are back down into the Cast 22. Normally, a winger would kick that out, and Cast would have had a line out 30 metres from the line. Because of genius X-factor players like him, Baptiste Serrin was obviously a bit quiet maybe, but he's capable of also of genius moments. And Leicester, he's capable of genius moments as well. So these guys can give him the ability to score. But it's that raw physicality and kicking game they also have, which is kind of their USP. That they got that side of things. They can really look at their tight head props. They got an incredible international tight head prop. You've got Gros on the other side. You've got, coming from Georgia, you've got Beko Gogadzi coming in. Gigi coming in. And these players can just dominate physically in mauls and scrums. So you've got that side of the game. You've got halfbacks who kick fantastically well, a fullback who kicks well. I think Villiers being back in gives him even more edge in that niggly physical side of the defence. So that's their USP, with a couple of players who at any given moment can offload, make a good run, and just drop a bit of genius in. So that's what they're going to bring to that match against Umbibi.
Also, we've got to mention Melvin Jaminet as well. I mean, what was it? 32 points from him, a try, 4 pens, 5 conversions. He had an absolutely belting match.
Yeah, he had a great game, but he actually did miss 2. He kicks it so high; it's incredible. One of them I reckon went over, but the touchers couldn't see it properly. But he's just part of that strong team. As a rugby player, you're like a bit at times, but then you realise the length of his kicking and how well he does that. It's incredible. He might not be the attacking threat of Burros, for example, but his kicking ability is certainly a weapon for that team. So with the halfbacks they have,
knockout games, it's absolutely huge. So he had a great game, and we have to mention Ma Nonu. I mean, he's basically the same age as you, Joe, pretty much, not far off. You've got a couple of years on him, but that's it. And he's out there playing a top 14 barrage match.
He's turned 43, hasn't he?
It's unreal.
How's he done it? Look at the state of him, and then look at his hair. He's still got his dreads and stuff. I've got just holding on here, just holding on. Yeah, he smashed through a tiny man who was playing out of position, but that tiny man is one of the best tacklers in Cast and at top 14 in Santi Arata. So no one smashes through that guy easily, even though he's light. So Marnonu's still got a bit of a juice to bring, still got a bit of energy. So it's incredible at 43 years old that guy can still be on a professional rugby pitch at the top level is staggering. Yeah, amazing.
Really amazing. Well, it's a good job these games.
One thing about the game, Cast did suffer, losing Louis Lebrun, the 10, really early. And then they lost their fullback. So the positional switches they had to make did handicap them a bit. Plus, you've already lost Popolano, you've lost some 10s. And Dumora wasn't fully fit. So you've lost a load of players that make a massive difference for that team. Took their attacking edge a bit. Took their territory and pressure game away a bit as well. So
yeah, and Dumora, it has only had 2 starts at 10 in his professional career, both this season, because like you say, they've had some issues. He's not a guy that runs a game or has experience of doing that, and that was definitely a factor, no question. The best team won, Toulon against UBB is going to be dynamite. It's a good job those games are going to be late kickoffs, 8:05 local time, because it's going to be hot in Lyon, in the mid 30s, Friday, Saturday this week. So, yeah, I mean, how much? A lot's made of it, and there were drinks breaks at the weekend in Grenoble in the access match. Just what's it like in that heat, Joe?
The one thing when it gets really hot is the ball can get a bit. When you're running into contact, if you get the ball in a slightly wrong position, and the tackle shot comes in on the ball, it can squirt out because there's so much sweat on your body that it's just covering everything. So, like rain, like any situation on the road pitch, as you get more experience, you learn what you can and what you can't do. In rain, you wouldn't make a certain kind of pass because you know the guy catching it as he catches it. You won't get the same grip level. If you get smashed, it might go out. It's the same with when you're sweating like that. You've got to really position the ball correctly. Go into a collision maybe slightly different to the norm. If you want to go for that one-handed offload, you've got to make sure the ball's not covered in sweat. Maybe don't take that risk. So yeah, it does impact on the match a bit. Obviously, it's incredibly tiring as well if you don't hydrate it properly. But to be honest, the players were training in it. They're used to it. It's not. Whilst to us, mid 30s is, oh my god. Over there, it's normal.
And as for those games, so the Friday night match.
Because Toulouse finished first, they get a day extra recovery.
And their opponents get a day less to recover and prepare.
Yeah.
So Toulouse, it's hard to look past Toulouse, obviously.
They didn't play well against Perpignan. Okay. No Dupont. This is different. Dupont go, we talked about it, there's blood in the water. That people will have more confidence than they had before. Certainly last year, that team was looking invincible going into that final. UBB limped into it. There was a lot of injuries and covering people. And they got stuffed. Now, that is not happening this year. Whoever goes into that final is going to be knowing anything's on the table and we can win this, because it's not, without Dupont and the way they're playing, it's not the same threat they're carrying. But one thing, Toulouse do react every time they have a bad performance. They're really good at reacting. They were bad against Perpignan. They had a week off. I've been dwelling on that. They do come back after a poor performance normally and fire one in. So that could be Bayonne. We'll have to wait and see. Bayonne are going to go to this thinking of nothing to lose. First time we've done this in, I think, 42 years or something, or 38 years. They've not been in a semi-final for that long. So they've got nothing to lose. They've had a great season. They can go out there and just let it go. Have a hopefully create an amazing match, because they do score points. It's just they're playing against a team that when you turn it over, and Bayonne can be guilty of doing that, because they can overplay at times, Toulouse can rip them a new one.
Bordeaux Toulon it's a clash of styles. It's international quality right across the park. Where will this be won and lost then? Is it just that the transitions for Bordeaux versus the kind of discipline, penalty count and stuff for Toulon?
Yeah, I mean, Bordeaux took a weaker team, a much weaker team. It was a week after the European Cup final, down to Toulon. They stopped getting a bonus point, which is quite important, because if they'd not done that, Toulon may have gone to Bayonne trying to get the bonus point. They kind of went with a decent team anyway. But UBB went down there with a weaker team, and they muscled up. Didn't play that well, but they muscled up and got into them with a lot of their power players and best forwards not involved. So I think whatever happens, UBB will understand they've got to go out there, and that power battle is going to have to be one where they get at least parity. But this year they've got a group of forwards who can bring that. We've seen it. We've seen their physical domination against Northampton. It wasn't. There were some beautiful moments in that final. My God, some incredible tries. There was 2 or 3 moments where they can just score these incredible tries. That's their thing that everyone concentrates on. But in that final, the forwards were physical and they dominated in many areas of the game. So they know they're going to have to bring that against Toulon to get parity, because that Toulon pack, we've already talked about it. We know what's coming down their neck, so they're going to have to do well there.
Cannot wait for these games. And we can't finish this video without just mentioning the access match in Pro de Deux. And after we chatted to Sam Davis, and he expressed what it was like being in that Grenoble squad, losing the final last year, losing the access match, and obviously his teammates that were there the previous year know that feeling as well. They've now a third time and could not have been closer to getting there. They were ahead with 75 minutes on the clock against Perpignan.
I think cursed is the word that stuck out for me in the headlines in France, and you can see why. They lost finals they shouldn't have lost. Then they've gone into these ascension matches, and they've lost 2 they should have won. Oh man, I feel so bad for them. Honestly, the game could have gone either way. It's not like they lost a game bomb. Hands down, they should have won that one. They were denied a few tries in the first half. Perpi were denied a few in the second, and then it just played out how it played out. If it carried on for another 5 minutes, they probably would have knocked over a penalty and won it. But yeah, I just don't know. Mentally, as a rugby player, that's going to either strengthen you up or break you. But they're going to come back, I'm sure, next year. I'm almost disappointed because they're a fantastic team, and they're going to come back again motivated and hungry. That guy that went for the quick tap though in the final, the prop, I can't remember his name.
Oh, it's going to haunt him.
That guy's going to have a long summer. That guy tapped it. He missed the ball, picked it up and ran, scrum, Montauban get away from there, win the game. Oh my God.
Unreal. Perpignan breathe a massive sigh of relief. They're in the top 14 next year. It does mean we get to follow the Grenoble journey here on FR UK. When you look at the quality of the signings that there are coming in to Brive, to Provence, you've got Grenoble still knocking around. I know obviously Colomiers have been really good this year. Béziers want to be a growing force. It's going to be pretty spicy.
Oh, hell yeah. Every year it's been getting better, and with the quality players pouring into the league, it's going to get even better again. The playoffs were playoffs. They were tight, massive, intense matches. So that excitement and we'll see throughout the year, but I can't wait. I can't wait for next year. Probably do.
Make sure you hit subscribe on the channel so you don't miss any of the free live rugby that is coming your way from the end of August. The first league to get back up and running, the longest, most intense, and one of the most competitive domestic leagues that there is, and certainly by a country mile, the best second-tier league in the world, bar none, and by a distance. So we have exclusive rights to the broadcast of that for free across the UK and Ireland every single Thursday night next season, every game week, and cannot wait for that. Hit subscribe on the channel, give the video a thumbs up, leave your comments down below on the top 14 semi-finals, how you see that going, and we'll see you on the next video. Stop.